Hello, everybody, and tonight we are going to look at the life of Martin J. Wolf, originally from Evanston, Illinois, but now lives in Los Angeles and has for a long time. And he sells insurance. Have you ever heard of Marty Wolf, Ed?
Never met the man.
So this is what Marty looks like today. And this is what he looked like a long time ago when he was just a pup. Now, first we are going to look at some of his ancestors, if you will. This is the family tree. That is Martin. The three men on the right are Marty's great-great-grandfather Louis, great-grandfather David, and grandfather Harry Sr. The baby girl in the center, that's Marty's mom, Virginia. But I like the antique frames. Very dignified. Grandpa Jacob Frank's sister, Fanny. The paternal grandparents, Harry Sr. and Jenny. Here is Marty's mom, Virginia, whose married name is Wolf. Are you afraid of Virginia Woolf, Ed?
I am not afraid of Virginia Woolf.
This is the oval frame section, I'm guessing. Marty's great-great-grandparents, Louis and Sarah Wolf. That's Marty's dad, Harry Jr., next to Marty's grandfather, Harry Sr. Marty was born in Evanston, outside of Chicago, in 1940. 640 Judson Avenue in Evanston, Illinois, the Harry Wolf ancestral compound. Shall we walk down memory lane, Ed?
Let's explore.
This is Marty being held by Pops, Harry Wolf Jr. Marty as a child. So few regrets at that age.
No bills to pay.
Looks like forced labor disguised as a fun chore. This is Marty and his grandmother, not... I'm going to say that is Etta, Virginia's mother. And younger brother Donald came along 4 years later. They were in a lot pictures together, naturally. Kind of a Tobacco Road feeling here, wouldn't you say, Ed?
Life during wartime, tough.
This photograph was taken at kindergarten registration at the Eugene Field Grammar School in Chicago. Mrs. Shoemaker sits at a desk as she registers the new kindergartners. To her right was Marty's first teacher, the timeless and elegant Mrs. Linden. At the desk in the front of the line, holding Marty's hand, is his mother, Virginia, who boldly drags young Martin by the hand, exuding all sorts of confidence, hoping, I'm sure, that it would rub off on the young Martin. And this picture appeared on the back page of the Chicago Sun newspaper on September 5th, 1945. A slow news week, as I recall. Soon thereafter, Harry Jr. packed up Virginia and the kids to take a job in Washington, D.C. 2 years of our capital was enough, and the Wolfs took off for Los Angeles and never left. At Knott's Berry Farm, they were detained for getting on a ride without paying. They tried to escape by horseback, but they were caught again. Frontier justice being very tough, the whole family was sentenced to death. But they cheated the hangman, using the extra pantyhose Virginia always carried. So in 1950, the annual Cub Scout Jamboree was held at the Shrine Auditorium, and Jimmy Stewart, a former scout, was the headliner. And here he is planning the event with our own Martin Wolf, who won more awards as a Cub Scout than any of his peers, and he also founded his own sports team to play baseball and football against other teams in the community. Okay, Ed, do you recognize this dog?
I do not.
Well, this is one of the rarest dog breeds in the world. It is a Chinese crested. And his name is Sel Luing Du, or Chippewa, which in Chinese means little wolf. Guess who owns this dog?
Dolly Parton?
No. Why would... The little wolf is owned by Donald and Martin Wolf, come on. But they call him Chippy. Chippy is one of only 6 of his breed, reportedly living in Los Angeles. Now, this breed has a very unique look, a thin crest of hair on top of his forehead, a small amount of hair on each of his paws, and a tiny tuft of hair almost invisible at the extreme end of his tail. If the little wolf was a media star, written up in local newspapers, and even appeared on the Eddie Albert TV show to promote the second largest all-breed show in the country in Long Beach, with 2,000 dogs from around the globe competing for AKC honors and a share of a $10,000 prize list. Chippy was even named Hollywood's Pet of the Week by Betty White, who knows a thing or two about quality dogs. Just ask her husband. And to top it off, due to his excellent obedience skills, Chippy was awarded the title of Companion Dog by the AKC. So, a busy year for Team Wolf. In 1951, Marty went away to summer camp in the mountains near Big Bear Lake. Marty's mom saved some of his letters, and we have one I'd like to share.
Let's hear it.
Dear family, having fun. The deer was here again. He put his head on my shoulder. He is getting really tame. Love, Marty, your firstborn son who is now the designated deer pillow. Now Donald, the younger, he worked on his breaststroke, I bet, while older brother Marty hopes to return next year as a counselor. That's called lifeguard tenure.
That it is, sir, yes.
Turns out the boys delivered a local newspaper, The Independent, that wrote articles about them, which is how we know that Martin collects coins and first day stamp issues, and that with his collection money he bought an English racing bike, and that he plans to become a chemical scientist. Both boys play Little League Baseball for the Westdale Rainiers. Scrappy bunch, I hear. Marty is an infielder. Donald plays the outfield. That's a little vague. Donald, his future ambition is to work with his father. The article ends by informing readers of the geographic boundaries of the boys' paper route. While the boys were at camp, it says here, their parents spent several days at a Big Bear resort. Sounds like Mom and Dad needed some alone time, huh, Ed?
Free and easy.
Being Jewish, Marty engaged in the coming-of-age ritual of the bar mitzvah, and later a confirmation is shown here. This is Marty's report card from the 5th grade. Nothing spectacular, but he did receive excellent marks in math, team building, work ethic, and his attendance was flawless, all skills of which would serve him well in the insurance world. The names of his fellow 6th grade graduates, none of whom he ever thinks about. Now, Marty was in the first class ever at Richland Junior High School, so when the students first got there, the classrooms were still being built. Marty talks about that experience in his graduation speech.
Today, we 50 boys and girls are the first class to graduate from Richland Junior High School.
50 kids and not one iPhone. Unimaginable.
When we arrived in September, we faced the challenge of our young lives. Every morning we walked into an unfinished school, exposed to the elements, dodging dangling wires, deafened by the constant hammering of carpenters, assaulted by the paint and chemicals embedded in our clothes, our hair, our skin.
You know, Ed, when I was in middle school, my biggest challenge was figuring out how to spell condom without alerting Sister Mary. Tough times. Let's hear the rest of it.
But our future was at stake. We so yearned to learn, nothing could stop us. Though many times it felt hopeless, we summoned the strength to raise our hands one more time in our search for the truth. We persevered, never wavered, and finally in January, we prevailed. And while regrettably some of our brothers fell, today we bear witness to their struggle for the freedom to learn.
Ed, I need a moment. Could you pass me a tissue? Was this a 15-year-old kid or Mel Gibson on his horse in Braveheart? Marty next attended University High and also dined at least once at famed industry hotspot, the Moulin Rouge on Sunset. Oh, brings back memories, doesn't it, Ed? I think that is our table.
You are correct, sir, yes. All right.
Marty changed colleges like they were pairs of underwear. First Berkeley, then UCLA, and finally graduating from what is now Cal State LA. Obviously, he had a good time wherever he was.
Yes!
Marty served in the Army Reserve for 6 years, mostly at Fort Ord. Judging by the expressions on Marty's face in these pictures, it is hard to tell whether he truly enjoyed his time in the Army, but he did serve for 6 years and was promoted to corporal. Apparently, when you serve our great country, you get a lot of cards to remind you, I'm guessing, about the various roles you fulfill. It appears Marty remained close with brother Donald, as evidenced by these fraternal moments. Marty remembers meeting Donna, the love of his life, saying, "It was like winning the lottery. My best decision ever." And that is all the time we have. Looks like Marty and his are doing just fine. And thank you for watching. Good night, everybody.